Hi everyone, this is Catherine, and it's been a long time since I have been on here. And I even tried to create a new YouTube channel with Radiant in him as my new, but it just will not let me record. YouTube has cited my, I don't know what the deal is, but it seems like it cited my recordings as questionable. um, I was saying to someone the other day I could probably run around naked and record myself and put it on YouTube, and they wouldn't find that questionable. But if I talk about God and my relationship with God, and somehow that's questionable because I don't know. So, anyways, for me, weight loss is a very spiritual journey, and um, I've missed you guys, a lot of you guys too. I really miss the outlet to be able to talk about the things I'm going through, and I'm trying to figure out how to remedy it. Just haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to try. Um, I'm doing this on my mom's uh, webcam and cam on her laptop, so I'll just try to make one every time I come up to her house, which is pretty frequent because um, I'm real close to my mom and I come here a lot, pretty often. Well, it honestly, it's been a real slow journey for me. Um, I kind of plateaued for a while, which sounds weird in weight loss surgery community, because you can only eat so much, but um, I just really hit a spiritual wall, an emotional wall, and what it did is it forced me to get more support than I had, and I'm really glad that it forced me into that place because I have been going to Overeaters Anonymous. That's just a personal choice I've made, and I'm learning a lot about my powerlessness over food, my addiction, and how I do really need to recognize that I have a need for help. And so I'm still very thankful I had the surgery. I wouldn't change that. It pulled me back from the cliff of many obesity-related diseases, and I had an incredible victory. My husband and I had our 12-year anniversary. Actually, it's today, but we celebrated last night. And afterwards, I wanted to go for a walk along this marina in Seattle. It was really beautiful, and we're walking along and at a pretty good pace, a nice strolling pace. And nothing was aching, and I wasn't breathing heavy, and that was huge. That was so wonderful. And my husband and I were holding hands, and I could keep up with them, and I said, "Isn't it amazing that this time last year I couldn't do this?" He goes, "This time last year you wouldn't even have thought of going for a walk." So that was big for me. That was really exciting, and just finding myself. I think I said quite a while ago that just trying to keep moving, and had a lot of obstacles. I have a treadmill that I got for Christmas that I've only used once because I can't get it to work without. We rent an older house in an old community. It's a really nice community, but the wiring is faulty as far as that goes, and so and then the pool closed. So I've just had I've had lots of reasons for excuses, and that's one of the things that I am really facing is that it's easy for me to make excuses, and that needs to change. That is changing, actually. So I'm making a recording right now, so you'll have to wait. Anyway, sorry, one of my kids. Just a minute, I'm sorry. Nikki, you need to go out and play. I'll be out in just a minute. I'll be out in just a minute. I don't want to start this over because I don't know how to do that. Anyway, let me think. shoot. I'm trying to think of how to keep going here. I don't know what I was just talking about. I really have struggled with this whole weight loss surgery thing. I feel like I feel like a failure because I had the gastric sleeve, and I just haven't lost as fast as people who have the R and Y. And so, and it's due to some choices I've made, but that's one of the things my doctor said is that you won't lose as fast. And so I get a little embarrassed to think about I have to go to my follow-up appointment. And I'm kind of embarrassed because I definitely am not one of their success stories. But I have called to make the appointment, and they need to call me back now. It's something my sponsor, which in a way you have a mentor that comes into your life and holds you accountable, encourages you, helps you to work through the steps that they have to help you to learn a new way of thinking about food and about addiction, about, find a new way of coping. So anyways, I'm just really thankful that the Lord directed me to OA because I realized that I really struggle to ask for help. I really struggle to admit that I need to depend on somebody else. And I think that has been an issue with my relationship with God, that somehow I felt like I had to be strong for Him. And He just wants us, our greatest point of strength, and it says this in the Bible, that when we are weak, we are made strong. And that's because when we can admit that we need His help, then we actually draw upon the strength that He has, which is limitless, and I need that help. Because I've been in a place where I have had a lot of people lean on me, and it's really hard for me to let them for me to lean on somebody else. I think that's pretty common with children of alcoholics or drug addicts, because they learn to have to take care of themselves emotionally, and I had to do that from being a small child, and I think that you're afraid of being rejected, so you don't ask anybody for help. And so it's been good for me because just having the presence of my sponsor in my life is a blessing, but it's also really been hard for me it's really hard for me to call her. I'm better about emailing stuff to her, and so, but I think I'll grow. I think that she's being patient with me, and I think she's going to help me and learning to say I need help. So I like it, and I like the fact that she has clear guidelines and boundaries, because I know that then it will remain a healthy relationship, and I can count on her being healthy, and that's really encouraging for me. I don't know. So I've been reading the OA material and reading my Bible, and just really been encouraged by it. I've really been encouraged by the Serenity Prayer that I pray each morning. It's God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I really have been meditating on that and just what that means for me. It has, you've seen, I think people have seen that a million times written on plaques and on their grandma's house and on a bumper sticker or whatever, but it's become very meaningful to me. There's a lot in my life that I can't change, and I need to accept it. And there's a lot, and not feel sorry for myself. And there's a lot for me that it takes courage and strength to admit that I need help. This is going to run out pretty soon, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it right now, and I'll just add a little bit more.